Get ready to play Brain Warp. Select game. Game 1, colors. Game 2, numbers. Game 3, combo. Game 4, memory match. Game 5, code buster. Game 6, pass attack. 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, 5 players, 6 players. Purple, red, green, white, orange, yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, wins, is second, is third, is fourth, is fifth, is last. Game 1. Round 1. Round 1. Player 1. Your turn. Follow my commands. Purple, this round. Round 1 is finished. Start on purple. Start on the secret code is 1 colors. You have 1 second to bust this code. Time's up. You broke the code in 1 second. Way to go. This game is finished. Is finished. Wanna warp again? If you don't keep up with me, you're finished. You solved. You scored. Player 1 wins with 1 colors, with 1 point. You scored 1 point. 1 player only. Select number of players. You scored 0 points. You scored 1 point. You scored 2 points. You scored 3 points. You scored 4 points. You scored 5 points. You scored 6 points. You scored 7 points. You scored 8 points. You scored 9 points. You scored 10 points. You scored 11 points. You scored 12 points. You scored 13 points. You scored 14 points. You scored 15 points. You scored 16 points. You scored 17 points. You scored 18 points. You scored 19 points. You scored 20 points. You scored 21 points. You scored 22 points. You scored 23 points. You scored 24 points. You scored 25 points. You scored 26 points. You scored 27 points. You scored 28 points. You scored 29 points. You scored 30 points. You scored 31 points. You scored 32 points. You scored 33 points. You scored 34 points. You scored 35 points. You scored 36 points. You scored 37 points. You scored 38 points. You scored 39 points. You scored 40 points. You scored 41 points. You scored 42 points. You scored 43 points. You scored 44 points. You scored 45 points. You scored 46 points. You scored 47 points. You scored 48 points. You scored 49 points. You scored 50 points. You scored 51 points. You scored 52 points. You scored 53 points. You scored 54 points. You scored 55 points. You scored 56 points. You scored 57 points. You scored 58 points. You scored 59 points. You scored 60 points. You scored 61 points. You scored 62 points. You scored 63 points. You scored 64 points. You scored 65 points. You scored 66 points. You scored 67 points. You scored 68 points. You scored 69 points. You scored 70 points. You scored 71 points. You scored 72 points. You scored 73 points. You scored 74 points. You scored 75 points. You scored 76 points. You scored 77 points. You scored 78 points. You scored 79 points. You scored 80 points. You scored 81 points. You scored 82 points. You scored 83 points. You scored 84 points. You scored 85 points. You scored 86 points. You scored 87 points. You scored 88 points. You scored 89 points. You scored 90 points. You scored 91 points. You scored 92 points. You scored 93 points. You scored 94 points. You scored 95 points. You scored 96 points. You scored 97 points. You scored 98 points. You scored 99 points. Get ready to play Brain Warp. Select game.